Hello, everybody! This is Christian Pokemon Champion, and what is this? Oh, this is different. This is a different kind of thing that I usually do. This is a Tierlist.com, and I thought this would be a very interesting way for me to end the year. I think we all had a very interesting year, and it's always a good time at the end of the year, before you do the new year and do all your resolutions that you will all fail. But anyway, that's okay. Let's be honest with ourselves. I'm trying to do better with my weight myself for next year. That will not be my resolution. That is my goal. All right? There's a difference. Okay. So before we end this year, I want to end it by reflecting what I did this year and technically last year when it comes to this channel, because I wasn't really around all that long, except I started in September 2020. I don't really think I'm going to edit this video too much. I'm just going to do my brief opinions and thoughts and beliefs, what I've done when it comes to my challenges. When I review all, and I just literally watched all the videos, I see how I have progressed as a YouTuber, as an editor, as a person who uses technology. I'll explain further. I've done a lot this year, and I've learned so much, and I am so happy to have learned what I've learned since this year, especially. I've learned so much this year, especially. Last year, not as much. I've learned so much this one, technology and whatnot. But how about we just get started? So basically, I'm going to rank each one of my videos based off of how I think I would watch it. And so how I watch challenge videos, I don't watch challenge videos very often. So the reason that I would watch a challenge video is it good quality visually or auditorily? If it's not good, then it's not that big a deal for me. What's more important is it creative? Is it difficult? All these things are more important for me as a viewer if I'm watching these videos as a viewer, like you guys. And when I look through all this, I see that I have a lot to go. I have a long ways to go to get to where I want to be as a YouTuber. When you guys say I'm a good YouTuber, I really, really appreciate it, and it's very nice that you guys say this, but I have a long ways to go to be where I want to be. But that's okay. That's why we have these reviews, and that's why we look through everything we've gone through, and it's a good way to see how we can continue to improve and be better versions of ourselves. And that's why we're doing this. So we're going to go chronologically. It's going to be interesting how actually some of these videos, these older videos, are actually very high ranked, and some of my newer videos aren't as high ranked. You'll see where it goes. If you have a different opinion on what I should have ranked it, let me know. I'm fully, you can tell me what your favorite video is. You can even tell me what your least favorite video is. I'm totally, if you have any advice on how to get better, I'm game. Just let me know in the comments. I'll be glad to hear it. Alright, so my very first challenge was the Kricketot challenge. And to this date, as of right now that is, based off of all my completed challenges, Kricketot challenges is the toughest challenge I've ever completed. That was my very first one, and it was insanely difficult. When it comes to the visuals, the editing, how good it looked, the auditory, it is the second worst among my entire group. I was new to scripting. I've never done scripting before. Basically, I wrote a script and I would have to read it and then edit that. That was the way to go back then when it comes to challenges and how you edited your challenges. And I've never done it before. So when I did it, I was so terrible. I was so bad at reading the script. I have a small speech impediment. I slur my words all the time, and a lot of it has to do with my bad hearing. So I did such a bad job. My mic wasn't even all that good. The one I have now is much better, which I'm very appreciative of. It makes it so much easier. But yeah, my visuals are terrible because I didn't know how to actually render videos. What else? But despite all of that, it was unique, because no one ever did a Kricketot challenge at that time. Someone else has not recently, done one in Platinum, I believe. I think it was Spectre who did Kricketot Platinum. Good for him. But this one, this is definitely among the more difficult challenge. Well, it is the most difficult challenge I've ever done. Although I am currently doing one that might actually be the new king of challenge. You'll find that one out later this year. All right. If I can get it done. Okay. All right. So this one, I'm going to rank it A. Not because I think it's like, again, the visuals were terrible. The audio was absolutely abhorrent. But because of how difficult it was, if I was a viewer and I watched it as a viewer, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the comedy. It was actually like pretty good. I enjoyed it. Like, I'm trying to watch all these things through your eyes, and that's how you grow. All right, next one was the Beldum challenge, or Bell Smart. Again, actually, I was not the first one to do a Beldum challenge. Okay, well, how do I say it? Technically, someone beat me to uploading Beldum challenge by like half an hour or something like that. 3 hours. It was a small amount, and I was like, what? That sucked so much. The only reason why that happened is because I actually decided not to upload when I was done editing it, just because I can like upload it on my usual date, Saturdays at 5 p.m. EST, and so I think it was Saturday I uploaded this, but yeah, I did that, and then someone beat me to it. I was so upset about that. But it doesn't matter. I think the comedy was really good. I sung with my mom in the singing montage for the first time. That was pretty dang epic. I would say that it was a tough challenge. It was a pretty tough challenge. A lot of it had to do with the seventh gym and the fact that I only had takedown, which takes damage. So I would say, based off my rating, I rated it a B. It was a B. I'm not gonna repeat myself a lot, but I'm just basically gonna say that my visual quality only got good until the normal challenge, and maybe the can't get hit challenge right here. My visuals were definitely very, very poor up until the normal challenge, pretty much. My auditory was still only good until my normal challenge. So this was right here. This was the precipice of how good I was when it comes to visuals and auditory. It still wasn't necessarily the best of my bunch, obviously. That's just my normal challenge, and that was a while back. But that's when I started getting good because I learned how to render videos. I got the new mic here. How's it going, Mikey Mike? But I'm not going to repeat myself. Everyone before the normal challenge had pretty poor audio, pretty poor visual. So don't worry about that. But I mainly grade on uniqueness, creativity, humor. I find humor more important than any of those things. More important than editing and visuals and auditory, and how tough the challenge was. All right, next one was the Abra challenge. This was like 8 minutes long. I'm gonna rate it a C. So this was literally the only challenge without a singing montage. So when I'm rating all this, I'm rating it based off of how I would personally watch it. And I'm rating it, I'm kind of like comparing each of these videos to each other. So I would rate C as my average. So C is not bad, it's just average, which is not a good thing you want to have. B is above average, A is great, S is you could not do better. Well, I can't say that, but very, very good, basically. And so I'm rating it, I'm comparing it to my other videos and how and how I've compared myself to myself. And I'm also actually comparing it to what I've seen in YouTube. I would say that Abra is about an average YouTube challenge if you want to watch one. It was very short, but I still enjoyed it. It wasn't bad. All right, the next one was the one that boomed up my channel, and I've never really recovered since. But it was the Can't Get Hit challenge, with MC Hammer. When I watched it, it was actually pretty entertaining overall. There's some cringy moments, that's where I was becoming like Christian cringe Christian Pokemon champion. That's what I said. Although I said that in the Poison challenge. That's when I said it. But I got pretty cringy. I'm pretty cringy still, but I've gotten better. I'm trying, guys. I feel bad rating it the way I did. Please don't judge me. I'm rating it an S. Not because it got so many views. I put my heart and soul, my blood, sweat, and tears in trying to make this video really good. Not because I thought it'd be really big. Just because I really wanted to. I just genuinely wanted to make this video very good. It was unique. The editing was pretty nice. The visuals and auditory, like I said, whatever, it wasn't great. But because it was difficult, it was very difficult. In the video, I said it was as difficult as the quick attack challenge. In hindsight, it was not, but I guess when I was actually going through it, it was pretty tough. In hindsight, it was a tough challenge, but not a really tough challenge. But yeah, I would say this is an S. Again, because I really wanted to make this one good for myself. All right, next we got the poison challenge. I hated the singing montage in this one. It wasn't very good in my opinion, but other than that, when I reviewed it, when I rewatched it, I honestly really enjoyed myself. Like I was enjoying the comedy. I was especially enjoying my strategies and how I can beat the poison and have so I had a toxic orb on Mankey, which was it was a tough challenge, but only because it was tough outside of battle. You had to deal with the poisoning. I really enjoyed how I handled that, and so I rated this one an S1. Like actually, and dang it, I'm sorry. Whenever I get to S, it's gonna move a little bit. I'm sorry. I rated this one above actually MC Hammer because I enjoyed it profusely. I mean, it was fine. It was great. I loved it. The Paris challenge. This is the one where I do I have to? I don't hate this challenge. It's the only basic video I have. Basic is just a regular Pokemon, and then, or I can't say basic. It's hard to say. It's just, there's nothing unique about doing a Paris challenge. At the time, it was unique because it was the only Paris challenge in the game I played it in Crystal. But other than that, that's it. And I, ever since I've done the Can't Get Hit challenge, the Poison challenge, ever since, I've only tried to do only unique challenges, for the most part, with an interesting flair to it. And so I'm very unhappy about that. And so I actually rated this one a D. So if I was a viewer, I mean, the singing montage was great. I enjoyed it because it was the song 500 Miles by the Proclaimers, and I enjoyed that very muchly. But other than that, it was a very subpar for me. I wouldn't really watch it all again. All right, well, next, getting past that, and by the way, I only actually made this because I needed more time. It was it's probably the easiest challenge I've ever done. And I only care about tough challenges now. So, the only reason why I needed to do this challenge was actually because of the one right here. This was the weakest attack challenge. I was only allowed, so I had two data sets. I had two games to do this challenge. The weakest possible move in the game that has a set power is Constrict. Unfortunately, I can't use Constrict against Ghost unless I use Otisluth or something like that, although in hindsight, I really could have just used Otisluth, but because I couldn't hit Ghost type with Constrict, I just decided to do another file, a separate total file, using only Zubat, or eventually Crobat, using only Leech Life, which is, again, one of the more weakest moves. I think it's, so it has, I think in this generation, it was 20 power, or 20, damage, I don't know what it's called, and then Constrict is 10, and so I chose those two. So this one took me about a total of at least 300 hours, in-game, outside of the game, probably about 660 hours in real life, something like that. I can't remember how long it actually took me to actually do it in real life. It was pretty dang bad. It was, so to this day, it is the second most difficult challenge I've ever done. Obviously, I can only use Constrict to do damage, and that was just insane. But I enjoy challenges where you have more than one Pokemon separately. You know what I mean? So, there's multiple things you got to pay attention to. So you have to pay attention to the Zubat file. You have to pay attention to the Drifloon file. I've done this another time with the Volbeat and Illumise challenge, where I played only Volbeat separately and Illumise separately in two different files. Whoopsie! Sorry about that. I use my hands to talk. And so I especially enjoy these kind of challenges where you have two separate files, because there's more to pay attention to. There's more you can work with. I especially enjoyed this one. I rated this one. Yes, you're gonna be. It's gonna be pretty interesting. I put so much effort. Not D. No, I'm just putting here just the rest. I put it S tier. Come on, There we go. So I'm just gonna tell you guys now that the Constrict challenge is my favorite challenge of all my challenges, at least right now. Obviously, your opinion can change, but the Constrict challenge was the most favorite challenge I've ever done. Again, don't worry about the audio, don't worry about the visual, but the editing was great. The comedy was on par. The idea was great. Or it was creative. That is, sorry. And the difficulty was so high. It was just my favorite challenge I've ever done. I'm sorry that I did it so already, but I'm doing it chronologically. And this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My 7th challenge in this channel was my absolute favorite one. Go check it out if you want to. Actually, all my videos here will be in the description below. So I'll make sure that you guys can have a chance to look at them if you want to. No worries if you don't. But this was just my absolute favorite. I enjoyed it so much. Next, we have the black sheep of my entire channel. So it's the only challenge that I have that is not Pokemon. I do actually have plans to do other games that are not Pokemon and are challenges, so look out for them. I have 2 already on my mind, and I can obviously do more than just this. I have a couple other challenges that are not mainstream Pokemon games that are already on my radar, but this is the only one that's not Pokemon as of right now. It is the Yu-Gi-Oh! Sacred cards without using level 4 or higher Pokemon. Wow, I cannot stop saying Pokemon. Yu-Gi-Oh cards, level 4 Yu-Gi-Oh cards. If you don't know how to play Yu-Gi-Oh, don't worry about it. I would just say that I rated this one a C, below Abra. So this is the lowest one so far. Yu-Gi-Oh. So when I watched it, the quality was still there. You know, it's whatever. I need to stop repeating myself. Sorry. Anyway, it was okay. I kind of cringed a little too much at some of the jokes. Some of them were pretty darn bad. But then some of them were actually really, really good jokes. And so that is there. The only reason why it's in C tier is because I just cringed too much. I mean, I was actually thinking about making it into a B tier because it's I think, I don't know this, as of my memory, it is the only Yu-Gi-Oh! Sacred Cards challenge on YouTube at the moment, which is not a huge accomplishment because it's a stinking easy game. I'm actually kind of want to do another challenge in the game because it was so interesting. I love doing it. Again, half the comedy was great, but because of the other half of the comedy, and because it wasn't great editing wise, it's a C for me. But if you get rid of those latter 2 and just focus on the good comedy and the fact that it's a unique challenge, it would be a B. It's not bad. But other than that, it's just too cringed. I cringed too much, and that's the bad thing when you cringe to yourself. Next one, we have the Jesse and James challenge. So I can only use Pokemon that Jesse and James used. I can only use the moves that they used. I wanted to prove that Jesse and James could actually have been the champion of the Johto region and also the leader of Team Rocket if they just put their minds to it. I also found a stinking shiny Swinub, which I have plans for. Watch out for that. This was the very last challenge I did before I lost all my data and almost considered giving up on YouTube altogether because I lost all my information. I couldn't do anything without my computer working, and so I had to fix it. And I prayed about it, and so I did obviously continue my strand of challenges. But this was the very last one where I was, before that happened. I enjoyed it. It was a great video to have that break. It wasn't a break. It was considering of continuing doing the channel. So this was a good challenge. I enjoyed it. It wasn't great, but it was good. It was a B. It was a B plus. It was pretty good. Some of the comedy I think was pretty on par. I think that if you do a challenge, you gotta be funny. You know what I mean? In my opinion, I really hold humor as really high up there next to creativity. It was pretty good. It was okay. And the singing montage was probably the best I've ever done. I don't know if you saw the video or not. And again, it'll be in the description if you want to check it out. But the singing montage in that video was so bleeping funny. I couldn't handle myself watching it again. It was so funny. All right, so this is the first video where I came back So all these videos were pre-era one. I don't know. Old arc CPC. I don't know what you want to call it. What kind of arc? Guys, name this arc. Name this arc right here before I came back. What would you call this arc right here? And then you can name this arc as well as a separate one because I'm going to be changing the channel a little bit soon. Hopefully positively. Don't worry about it. It's going to be okay. What would you name this arc? And then what would you name this arc? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 this year. That's pretty pathetic. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wow! I did not mean that to happen. Okay, well, we have arc 1, arc 2, and I'm going to have an arc 3 next year. Not on purpose. I didn't mean for that to happen, but it worked out. Okay. Fine with me. So this is the very first video I came back when I prayed and I chose to come back. This was originally going to be a collab video with someone, but it didn't work out. So I just, what happened was, they were going to do Volbeat and I was going to use, Illumise, and they didn't work out. So I had to do Volbeat all by myself. And so I did both of them in one video. Like I mentioned in the, Constrict challenge, it was pretty entertaining watching two separate files, fight against the whole game. The Illumise challenge was actually very, very difficult. As of right now, excuse me, this is the challenge that holds the #1 record for a number of attempts for a challenge on my channel. I believe it was 320 something attempts to beat Steven with Illumise. And I still failed because I still used ethers, and then literally I beat Steven with a water pulse, so whatever. So right now, as of right now, but there is another challenge that has recently occurred that beat that record, but officially this is the one that has the highest amount of attempts, which was astounding. It was a pretty entertaining video. I really liked it. It was an A tier. I put it right here, right behind the Krikota one. The Illumise challenge was pretty darn tough. The Volbeat challenge was stinking easy because it's a much better designed Pokemon. You can have better moves. I decided not to use TMs and HMs in that video. Actually, since then, I kind of stopped doing that for the most part. I mean, some videos I use TMs and whatnot for specific reasons. And this one too, but for the most part, I avoided using TMs and HMs. Whatever. I try to avoid it as much as possible. But this one, this was a pretty tough one when it comes to Illumise. The Volbeat was easy because much better moveset, but whatever. Next we got this one. Okay, so the Burn Challenge. This is actually more of a viewer challenge. So, oh, dude, what's his name? At the moment, I can't remember his name, but there was actually somebody who beat me to getting the Burn Challenge before me. But again, this was because I had to lose my file and everything like that, so I couldn't actually put that back where it came from. So someone beat me to that. I can't remember his name. I apologize. I can put his link in the description below if you want to know what I was talking about. I can't remember his name at the moment, but he beat me to the Burn Challenge. Good for you, dude. This one is because of that, it became more of a viewer challenge, so I let you guys choose all the rules I had to follow, and you guys gave me about like 23 rules I had to follow. So many. It literally took me over 3 minutes just to do the introduction. That's how bad it was. And it was also actually a 40-minute video about, I think my longest video so far when it comes to my challenges. It was stinking entertaining. I loved it. It was so great. There was parts of real-life footage I put in there. I had to drink water and play the ukulele or whatever. It was a tough challenge. I had to be unique. All the Pokemon are randomized. It was a really entertaining video. I enjoyed it. And even though it was like 40 minutes long, I still enjoyed watching it. I put this sucker right here, right above the Poison Challenge, because it was really good. I enjoyed it. Like if I was, just watching it, I'd be like, wow, I liked it. And I'm not trying to beef myself up. I'm already thick, but I just really enjoyed it. It was pretty nice. Okay, the next one. This is another black sheep of the family. It's the only challenge where I didn't have a script and then I just edited down and you guys had a whole story. This was more like highlights of a live stream series. It was my first ever live stream series, and I really, really loved it. It's the series that got me into doing live streams. I enjoyed it, but I didn't like the format. I didn't like the highlights highlights to be as a challenge video. I preferred the script version. when I was watching it, I was like, I'd rather not watch this. I was kind of bored. I was actually bored watching my own video. That's a very bad sign. I don't think it was necessarily the highlights necessarily. Like, so this is actually the video that had the lowest quality of audio of all my channel, or at least of all my challenges. That is, I have some pretty bad quality sometimes. I'm sorry. I've gotten better, as you can tell. Kind of. So this guy, so it was. I was just thinking. I think it was more. It was better just to have just the highlights on the side, and then script it as per usual, and then do the challenge like I would usually do, and then have the highlights of the streams on the side as a fun thing. And I enjoy the highlights. The highlights by themselves, individually, were very good. They were good as highlights on their own, but this should not have been the same thing as highlights. I was actually bored, and I pretty much said to myself, as of right now, kind of, I'm not going to do it this way ever again. I did not like it. I'm sorry. I put it as a D. It was not a very good one. I was kind of bored, and that is not a good thing. It was above the Paris, only because there were parts where I was actually enjoying it. I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that you would have to be a part of the live stream to actually enjoy all the comments, all the comedy. It was pretty much only comedy, pretty much, which is not a bad thing necessarily, but you would have to be a part of it to enjoy it. A little disappointed in it. I'm sorry about that. The intro was pretty cool, one of my more unique intros, but other than that, it's a D, and I'm sorry. If you liked it, I'm sorry, but for me, it was a D. All right, next we have our very first actually okay audio and visual editing. We have the normal challenge. It's a normal challenge. I mean, when it comes to these only solo moves challenges with the collaborators are awesome. But when I was watching, I'm like, well, there's not a whole lot of difficulty. I mean, the rock challenge was actually really difficult. But other than that, the other three were pretty easy for the most part. And so I would actually rate because of that, because it's not super difficult. And the visuals and auditory do matter a lot to me, but not as much as the difficulty and the creativity of the challenge. And so I would actually rate this sucker right there as a C. So I would rate this as an average challenge video. These are average challenge videos. This is just average. It's okay. It's okay. It's not bad. It's okay. Next we have the Dragon Challenge. It's in the same boat. It was a little bit better than the last one because I'm still trying to get better. Each video I am getting better visually, getting better editing wise, yada yada, rada. But it was still a C for me. Next we got the Explosion Challenge. I said in the video it's like one of my favorite challenges of all time. And in hindsight, when I was watching it, it was still very, very entertaining. It was a great live stream. And it was a great concept. And again, props to Aaron Arantula for helping me figure out how I can do an explosion challenge properly. It was fun. It was a great time. So I would rate this dude an A tier, very low A tier, so A minus. I don't know what could have been better with it. I can't remember what I said to myself to make this better. I don't know. Maybe I just wasn't as energetic at the time. I can't remember what was happening. But other than that, it was still an A tier. Very, very, very entertaining. I would say that the creativity of the challenge, the explosion challenge, is what made it an A tier. Someone actually did do an explosion challenge before I did. So that sucks. But that's okay. I still enjoyed it, and I'm glad we did it. All right, next we got okay, so we have like 3 black shapes. So I guess there's not a lot of black shapes. I don't know. This is the RC speed run. Interesting. I really actually enjoyed the experience of doing a speed run, first ever speed run, and I have at least a couple more things in mind, kind of. You'll see it later on, I suppose. But this dude, it was tough editing it. I am not a piano player. I had to edit. So in case you don't know this is a music video. I parodied a video from Hamilton, a song from Hamilton, the musical. I changed the lyrics, I used the music, and I recorded my own piano pieces and everything like that. The audio could have been a little better. I didn't really know how to do the record the piano properly because I couldn't physically upload it to my computer. I had to do it in a guerrilla style, so basically I had to record it over the use a camcorder or whatever over the piano, and so the audio could have been a little bit better. The visuals could have been better because it was a live stream, and so I still didn't know how to use OBS to its fullest. And I've gotten a lot better when it comes to using OBS. Kind of. But this, I would say, because it was creative, it was the first Arceus video for speedrunning. It wasn't the first Arceus video, but it was the first one for a speedrun. Someone actually did an Arceus run before I did, but it was it wasn't a speedrun necessarily. It was a music video. Because it was a music video and it was a parody, I really enjoyed doing it. It was very difficult, very hard work, but I liked doing it because I'm a music guy, you know what I mean? I'm a music man, you know? So I rated this dude. What did I rate you? I rated you an A tier. So again, if I was better when it comes to getting the music ready, I'm not very talented in getting all the music together. If I just had someone mix it better for me, and I did better on the visuals and stuff like that, and I knew how to rap, if I knew how to rap, I would say this would be like upper A maybe, but it's a lower A, lower mid. It was unique, and I love uniqueness. Good job, dude. All right, 2 more to go. We have the Fire Challenge with Coach Max. I would say that the visuals and the auditory were all pretty dang good. I'm trying to get to... Okay, so I actually think that NDB actually does a very good job in his auditory and his visuals. And I'm trying to get to that level. I'm still not there because that wasn't very good, but I'm learning how to get better. And every single video, you'll see that I'm trying to get better every time. And this one was very good when it comes to all that. And so I rated this dude a B tier. Where did I put you, though? I put you right here. I think it was pretty okay. It was not okay. I can't say okay is a B tier. I have a terrible memory, so I can't really remember everything, but it was pretty good overall. I'd say it was just good, you know? I mean, it was just it's showing that I'm trying to get better, and I liked it. I liked it as a B. Our last one, the one that came out a week and a half ago, something like that, is the Rocks Challenge. That was with Breath. I would say it was, like I said, it was actually a relatively tough challenge. I would say it's about a medium, a little bit over a medium difficulty on my challenge, my series. This one was okay. It was pretty entertaining overall. Some cringy moments. I'm still cringy, but you know it's hard to get past that. You know what I mean? I rated this one also a B, because it's still not creative enough. It was very difficult, but it's not creative enough. So pretty interesting. As you can see, I'm a pretty well-rounded YouTuber, if you want to call that as a round being round. I'm very round. So as you can see, I have my S tier. I do have my A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier. I want to know what you guys think about what you would rate each one. If you want to do your own little bit of a tier list, you can in the comments. I would be glad to see what you think is your favorite. If you just want to tell me your favorite or you want to tell me your least favorite, I would even like to hear that. Let me know what you think about in the comments. I have still a whole lot to go. I have a good solid year in me. I have a lot of plans for this next year, and we'll see where it goes with that. Other than that, Happy New Year, and let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, Felicias. Now, I do want to say thank you to all my patrons real quick. Carefu01, Wild West 16, Bad Raptor Games, Brace Mino, PG Clean, Howlin' Requiem, and apparently my family. Thank you guys for being so awesome. With that, bye, Felicias.